All right, team, bring it in, team. Come on. It's going to be a short practice today. We just got 2 drills we need to cover. But remember, anything worth doing is worth doing well. So let's conquer this thing. Let's get over this hill. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, break! All right, looking at example A here. We're going to go ahead and find the rate of change at x equals 0. You guys ready? What time is it? Game time. Whoa! All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the derivative of this thing because it's a rate of change. So we're going to do a derivative because it says rate of change. As soon as I see rate of change, boom, derivative. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do a derivative. Now this one's going to challenge you. This is going to be tough because we have the product rule. We have a polynomial here. It is multiplied by this rational function here. So we have the product rule, a function times a function. But inside of this product rule, we are going to have a quotient rule. So you're going to have to rely on your team here. There's no I in team. There's just team. So let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and do the product rule. The product rule is first D last plus last D first. Let's go ahead and do that. So first D last, so G derivative of x, or G prime of x, if you want to say it that way, is first, and this is going to take a lot of room, so write small, D last. Now when I do the derivative of the last, I have to do the quotient rule. So I got to go low D high minus high D low over the bottom square, low squared. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do low D high, which would just be 2, derivative of the top, just 2, minus high D low. Derivative of the bottom is just 9. And all that's over the bottom squared. So all I've done so far is first D last in the product rule. I still got to do plus last D first. So, oh my goodness, plus last 2x minus 3 over my 9x minus 8. D first, which is actually pretty easy. Derivative of the first is just 10x minus 1. All right. Now here's where you got to look at the problem and decide if you should simplify. Okay. It just says find the rate of change at x equals 0. I am not going to multiply all of this out and simplify it all down because I don't need to, okay? Because my goal is to find the rate of change at 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and simplify it a little bit because I got a lot of like terms right here. So I'm going to do this easy distribute to and distribute the negative and the 9 here and put these together. But I am not going to get this answer and distribute it all to here and put these together. I'm not going to do all that. Okay? So I'm just going to distribute some stuff here to simplify it a little bit. And I'm doing that just for my sake. Just trying to make life a little easier on me. So I'm going to take my 5x squared minus x minus 5. I'm going to distribute these two together. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to write it right above it, save some room. So I'm going to get an 18x minus 16, and here I'm going to get a minus 18x, ooh, that's nice, and a, let's see, a negative 27, another negative plus 27. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put those together. My 18x's will cancel. I'll end up with whatever negative 16 and 27 put together is 11. So I'm going to have 11 over my 9x minus 8 squared. Okay, that was worth doing because it made my life easier. Okay, and I still got my 2x minus 3 over 9x minus 8 over here times 10x minus 1. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and finish this thing off. It's not where you start in life, it's how you finish. Sorry, I'm coaching mode there. But you need to go ahead and take and find the rate of change at 0. So I'm going to do G derivative of 0. In other words, I'm going to put 0 in for x into all these x's in the derivative and do G derivative of 0. So that will become 0. 5 times 0 squared. I guess I'll write it right here. G derivative, or G prime of 0 equals. That would become 0. That would become 0. I'll get a negative 5 out of that term. I'm really out of room. I'm going to do it clear up here. I'm sorry. It's going to jump up here on you. But I'm going to get a negative 5 out of that first set. All right? And I'm going to get a, let's see, that'll become 0. So I'm going to get 11 over negative 8 squared is 64. So I'm going to get times 11 over 64. And then I'm going to have, let's see, a 0 here, a 0 there, because 2 times 0, 9 times 0. So I'm going to get a negative 3 over negative 8. So I'm going to have a plus 3/8. And then that will be, this will be 0, 10 times 0, and then I'll have a minus 1, which gives me just negative 1. So I'll have 3/8 times negative 1. And then all I have to do is put that together. Okay, when I put that together, I get, let me type this in real quick. I get negative 1.234. That's kind of a cool number. And that is my rate of change, my derivative, at 0. So I did the derivative, put 0 into the derivative. There's my rate of change at 0. And a good way to check this, by the way, you can check these problems, make sure you're doing them right. You can put this original equation, this g of x, you can put that equation into your calculator, go to second calculate, do dy over dx, which is the change in y over change in x, the derivative. You can do that at x equals 0. Just go to put in this original equation, go to second calculate on your calculator, and then just go down, I think it's number 6, is dy over dx, select it, put 0 in for x, bam, it'll kick out negative 1.234. That'll be your rate of change at 0. So you can check these on your calculator. All right, so just remember that you guys have to remember this always. Leadership is more about responsibility than ability. There.